constantly moved and repositioned tree does not bear any fruit. Yeah. So if you are constantly like being moved and if you are constantly changing the environment, in like I did in my first year and second, when I was transitioning schools in second year, I got back to my to my hometown, which is where I currently record, and I kind of got lost because the environment I changed the environments, and it seemed to me that I was when I left. That was like in 2022 summer. When I left in September, I was I kind of changed the environment for the focus of virtue and for the better school. But that soon that like you can pull the act of the fake act is cheap, and like any other fake act it falls down like a fake mask in the the theaters, and so it did for that kind of environment in that school, the first high school. And when I transitioned back, so there was the change in prices, there was a change of kind of mentality, there was a change of behavior, change of desire, change of purpose, and they all remained like that all the way through now. Why, you may ask? Well, yeah, it's just some kind of sense of growing up. But, well, to be kind of exact, what I was expecting was everyone should kind of focus on grades, and back then. Now I had the complete opposite opinion, but I changed my mind, and everyone, I was thinking everyone should strive to kind of get better for virtue, to be virtuous in some area, but that doesn't seem to be that isn't the case. That doesn't seem to be the case, and what I mean by it, because everyone, when like there is the idle mind is a devil's workshop. You may heard that in Proverbs, in the which were wrote it by Solomon for his great wisdom, and it is truly like that. When an inactive mind is exposed to sin, it becomes a slave to it, basically, as it is said in John 8:38, I think. Like truly, I tell you, whoever committed a sin is committing to sin is a slave to a sin. Jesus said, and everyone was focused on the dopamine, talking, cheap conversations, alcohol, drugs, sports, betting houses, woman, not a real woman, but like the more nastier ones, and like everyone was like a walking corpses. Like I returned to this place, and everyone is like, yeah, they can surely they can talk, yeah, like of course, but deep down they're like a walking flesh. And I was, and yeah, I returned because I thought I'll be better at that place that I once knew 1 year before. But that place changed by 180. And then, yeah, you can, like, I once I returned, I found a hard time studying because the first year I was literally it was yeah I had like A's and stuff. I don't have a GPA in Europe, but there's a kid in. I didn't have a GPA system, but I had like 90% of all the grades, like a final grade, or like 95 plus. I had great grades, and as soon as second year came, I became a lot. I had spent a lot more effort to get 90%, and then the third year, I I received like 80% or less than 80%. I think. Let me think. Like 72%. Well, not quite. Yeah, 72%. The third final year, and now it is probably going to be somewhere in 60-70%, because I can't. I find it hard. I have a hard time to study at like some stuff that I already know, on the first place, and the second by not learning anything specific. And doing it in the same environment where I eat, sleep, work out, and like socialize, banter, have fun, or even sometimes I recently like had a sparring, 3 rounds of sparring at 3 minutes, boxing with my little brother. That is that was kind of fun on the floor carpet, which is kind of hard because when you move back, you move the carpet up, but you don't relatively you haven't moved at all, so you can like escape the punches. That was fun, and yeah, it is hard to focus in that area, and even when my parents or anyone else that is present, they use their home for the purpose of like leisure time, to like prepare for a job, to watch Facebook, I don't know, and to yeah to kind of they are not in the state of actually doing something in the flow state of actually working, but they are just like doing buffer activities like cleaning the house, and I don't know. And they're talking on the phone loudly, they're listening to the news loudly, and that is annoying. That is really annoying when you have to like study, and they expect in return some results that will like raise the dopamine, their mind's dopamine, that will skyrocket the dopamine up in their heads for some time, for quick time. And yeah, I need to strive. That's literally, I'm always talking about the same things in these videos, but the point is, I already have almost everything planned out. I have a certain identity in my head that I always, that I created, that I want to embrace. And having this, buying a laptop, I think that buying a laptop is a really smart decision. Having a pair of headphones and a mouse is really helpful, and spending the time in library, that will be cool, because I am not exposed, I'm not being like spectated and like watched behind my back what I am doing, what is on my screen. Well, instead I am at the library, minding my own stuff, minding on my own business, and I don't have to like I don't have to think about someone watching behind my shoulder. Like, I think many of you who watch these videos, like, that's the same thing like being when you are working at your job, and in your office job, and someone is looking because they are because they have the authority to do so. Basically, I'm not afraid of saying it. They're not afraid to do it because they have some power, either, yeah, more so like materialistic power to kind of rule over you, and they're not afraid of doing that weird and this disturbing behavior. And changing the environments helped me a lot to kind of like I go out by myself, I walk, then I sit somewhere and I talk to the cameras and I just relax. Like a few days ago when I was recording the day at the river, that was so refreshing to experience. Right after my driving class, I head out to the bank of the river and just talked for an hour. That is searching and finding the environment where you are feeling, where you are, where you know you are, where you are certain that you can improve and become more, that is relaxed at the same time, and that is for relaxation at the same time, and that is for something of value, and not something like instead of, yeah, the yeah, I got lost. I'll rather choose that than being sleeping and waking up at a stressful. Like I basically associated that place, my residency, my apartment, as a stressful current apartment where I live, as to stress and to like stressful occasion, because I always have these arguments with my parents, and they start them all off in the first place because they order things around. They treat me and my brother like we are we are not even people, that we are like animals, that we are like cattle. And that's why that's why most of the time in our region, the people when they grow up, they neglect their parents because they treated them like shit in the past and in their earlier life and childhood. That was basically it, and yeah, thank you for watching. May God bless you. Peace.